Let's talk about some looming evictions in Ngong Forest, and I'll show you something here. So there was 53 hectares. This is the land in contention, but it's not all. There was a gazette notice that was published by the late Francis Lotodo. At that time, he was the Minister for Natural Resources on the 23rd of March, 1998, essentially annexing 53 acres of land. So there are many questions that are arising from this incident because there are looming demolitions. There are people who've owned homes there for a while now. Was the gazette notice issued in 1998 by the then Minister for Natural Resources, the late Francis Lotodo, a scheme to grab close to 2,000 acres from Ngong Road Forest by powerful people in government then? Or was the government's plan for the parcel of land altered in favor of a few individuals with an appetite for public land? Well, these are some of the puzzling questions, even as the government maintains that people who live in some areas along the forest must vacate. But as Enock Sikolia reports, residents whose houses are set for demolition are heading to the court to seek legal redress.
Under threat for decades, Ngong Forest is now a battleground between the government and men and women who live in sections alleged to have been grabbed from the forest. It's a battle that continues to raise questions while exposing possible underhand dealings that could have led to the forest losing close to 2,000 hectares of land in what the Ministry of Environment calls illegal allocations.
My name is Abdi Zaila. I'm the chairman of the Royal Park. It makes any sense to me because I've stayed here for exactly 10 years, and this is the first time I'm hearing that this is part of the forest land. And 10 years ago when I purchased this land, there was not a single tree. It was basically a savanna.
On the ground, the boundary is here. But according to the government, Ngong Forest goes beyond where residents live. And it maintains that anything that happened in between is totally an illegality. The government talks about illegal allocations that it says threatens the existence of Ngong Forest, only 6 kilometers from Nairobi's central business district. More than half of its gazetted parcel have been encroached. The forest has lost about 1,951 hectares and currently stands on only 1,330 hectares. The current battle that could spill into the corridors of justice pertains some 53.68 hectares of land lying within and adjoining the eastern boundary of Ngong Road Forest. This land was hived away from the forest through a gazette notice dated 23rd of March 1998 by then Minister for Natural Resources, the late Francis Lotodo. It was a third gazette notice in a space of less than 4 months. On the 22nd of December 1997, the then Minister for Environment and Natural Resources, Henry Kosgei, issued the first gazette notice. The 3 gazette notices do not specify the purpose for which the forest boundary was altered and over 53 hectares of land hived off, but it seemingly opened floodgates for influential people, among them politicians, to acquire the parcel of land. According to the ministry, these influential people then subdivided the parcel of land and later sold to non-suspecting Kenyans. Some of the politicians mentioned include Bahati MP, Kimani Ngujiri.
Kiangalia watu wamekuwa mentioned hapo ni watu wamepata mashamba yao kwa njia ya haki. They are bought through the process. Munataka mtuambie hakuna process ya kuacquire shamba?
We've spent millions. Everyone here spent millions.
For people like Abdi and Abdullahi, they just bought a piece of land to build a home.
If there is and if there was an irregularity at the beginning, let government take responsibility because it is government. It's a representative of previous governments and definitely the future governments to come.
I bought my land in 2010. It took me 6 months to pay in installments. I was paying in installments at the time, and the legal process took 6 months. And it took me a further 2 years before I was able to build my house. And all that period, I connected with the government at various levels, at the municipality, at the utility level. We obtained permission from Nairobi City Water to log into their water system. All through, there was no indication at all that this was a forest. And up to now, there is no official indication from the government that this is a forest.
The best approach, first of all, is for government to tell us the documents we have and what they stand for, because there has to be sanctity of title. The title deed I have that made me either build or buy my own house has to be explained to me what it is and where the government is the guarantor of titles. So what government will tell you is the documents that we've given you, the stamp duty that you've paid, all the monies that you've been paying, the searches that you have from the Ministry of Lands, they amount to nothing.